2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 8. Therefore do not be ashamed of the testimony about our Lord, nor of me his prisoner, but share in suffering for the gospel by the power of God. We are looking at the second part of this verse today. It's interesting how Paul is wording here. He's saying don't be ashamed, but suffer. Suffering is not the opposite of being ashamed. We would expect words like be proud or bold in contrast with being ashamed. Suffering is inevitable for a Christian. Philippians 1:29 says, "For it has been granted to you that for the sake of Christ you should not only believe in him, but also suffer for his sake." Romans 8:17, "If children, then heirs of God and fellow heirs with Christ, provided we suffer with him in order that we might also be glorified with him." Paul uses the word share in suffering. We are not alone in this. As believers, when we suffer for Christ, we are also sharing the burden of other saints suffering with us. How encouraging and refreshing. Hebrews 12:2 says, "Looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God." So we are partakers of that shame that Christ endured. And what a privilege. When Paul commands to suffer, he doesn't mean that we choose to suffer. Instead, we choose to do God's will, even if it means suffering. And at the end of the verse, we see that the ability to endure suffering is not a matter of our own strength, but is possible only in the power of God. So we are dependent on him to endure suffering. Have a blessed day.